Hello, I'm Julia, and this is my English class. This is the Lesson 2 video for my M3A and M3B students. Today, you will need your pencil, your notebook, your Lesson 2 worksheet, and an English diary page. Last week, we had a short writing assignment on Golden Week. 2 weeks ago, we had our lesson on the past tense. This week, our lesson topic is the present perfect. The present perfect? What's that? The present perfect is 現在完了. I think you've seen it before, but you probably didn't know it by its English name. That's okay. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. Okay, so just like with the past tense, you all have had some practice in your other English classes. It was just in Japanese. So I know this won't be too difficult for you guys. But before we jump straight into the present perfect, I want to review our verb conjugations. Oh my goodness, Miss Julia, verb conjugations? 何それ? Don't worry, you also know what verb conjugations means, but just in case you forgot, verb conjugations. 動詞活用. You've done it before, you did it 2 weeks ago, and you did it last week. Let's conjugate or change the verb form of a verb. We're going to start with an easy regular verb. Play. So, play. Now conjugate this word so it is in past tense, or its simple past tense form, which is 過去形. So play becomes played. Oh no. Sorry guys. There we go. Okay. Now there's one more conjugation. So play, played, played. There we go. So play, played, played. We have our verb, our simple past tense, and this is called our past participle. Oh my gosh. Julia, again? Past participle? 何その単語? Boom. Past participle. 各分詞. You know this one. It's just probably the first time you've seen it in English. With a regular verb like play or watch, it's really easy to conjugate the verb because it's just play plus an ed, and your simple past tense and your past participle are the same. So play, played, played. Easy. Watch, watched, watched. Easy. But remember, we have our regular verbs and then we have our irregular verbs. So let's go ahead and see an example of an irregular verb. Are you ready? Let's try it with one of my favorite irregular verbs, to eat. So, eat, past tense, 過去形 is ate. So eat, ate. Past participle. Aided? No. Eaten. As you can see, conjugating irregular verbs is a little trickier than it is with regular verbs. You just have to practice and remember them. But I know you've done many conjugation practices in your other English classes, so I won't make you do them here today. Remember, there is the list of common irregular verbs that I have up on the website. So if you have forgotten, past participle of forget, then you can go ahead and use these whenever you're worried or not sure of how to conjugate a verb. I'm going to give you 6 irregular verbs, and I want you to conjugate them. So you will have the verb, Then I want you to write the simple past tense. Then I want you to write the past participle, all right? You know what that means. Boom! Notebook time. Please take out your notebooks and open to a new page and write this down. Okay, guys, at the top of your page, please write lesson 2. Underneath that, write present perfect, and you can write the Japanese. Underneath that, I have a few notes that might be handy for you to have. So, notes, verb conjugation, the Japanese, and to conjugate means to change the verb form. Then, past participle and the Japanese. This way, if I say one of these words and you forget what it is exactly, you can look at your notes and remind yourself with the Japanese meaning. Okay, then let's go ahead and write practice. Let's conjugate these verbs. So I have my example, which is eat, ate, eaten. And underneath that, go ahead and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 1 is drive. Number 2 is fly. Number 3 is forget. Number 4 is go. Number 5 is speak. And number 6 is take. So go ahead and pause this video until you are finished conjugating the verbs. When you are ready to see the answers, go ahead and continue watching the video. All right, let's check. Here we go. So number 1, drive, drove, driven. Number 2, fly, flew, flown. Number 3, forget, forgot, forgotten. Number 4, go, went, gone. Number 5, speak, spoke, spoken. And number 6, take, took, taken. There you go. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part of our lesson where we are going to be using our conjugated verbs in questions and sentences. The example sentence is, Steve has played soccer today. Now, is this sentence talking about the past, present, or future? Good, the past. All right, how about this sentence? Steve played soccer yesterday. Now, is this sentence talking about the past, present, or future? The past. Great. So both of these sentences are talking about the past. But what's the difference? Let's see. Here. So Steve has eaten 2 apples today. Steve ate 2 apples yesterday. Again, these are our time expressions. And here is our past participle, and then our simple past tense. All right, I want you to give it a try. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you don't have to write the answer down. I just want you to think about it. So here we go. Question, how many apples did Sally eat yesterday? So how many apples did Sally eat yesterday? Let's see. We have Sally ate 3 apples yesterday, or she ate 3 apples yesterday. Right? That's just the simple past tense. Now let's try this one. How many apples has Sally eaten today? Sally has eaten 1 apple today, or she has eaten 1 apple today. Okay, I've given you some examples. Now I want you to practice on your own. All right, so that means it's notebook time again. Go ahead and take out your notes, and we're going to do our next practice exercise, but I also have some notes for you. So go ahead and write this down. All right, go ahead and write notes, and then write I/you/they, and then have. Underneath that, write she/he has. This is going to be your pattern when you are writing sentences about the present perfect. All right? So, for example, question: how many apples have you eaten today? Answer: I have eaten 1 apple today. Next example: how many books has Susan read this week? Answer: she has read 3 books this week. Okay, so see how the pattern works in these examples? After you are finished writing the notes, let's move on to our practice. For questions 1, 2, and 3, you're going to look at the pictures and answer the questions. Don't worry, you do not need to draw these pictures in your notebooks. Just write the questions and the answers. Okay? For questions 4 and 5, you are going to answer the questions about yourself. All right. So go ahead and write practice. Look at the pictures and answer each question. Number 1, question: how many choco pies has Julia eaten today? Answer. Number 2, question: how many books has Chris read this month? Answer. Number 3, how many movies have Chris and Sekiko watched this week? Answer. Now for the practice part 2. Answer the questions about yourself. Number 4, how many cup noodles have you eaten this month? Answer. Number 5, how many English worksheets have you finished this week? And your answer. Go ahead and pause this video until you are finished writing your answers to these questions. When you are finished writing your answers, press play, and then we will check and see what the answers are. Okay? Okay, let's check. So, all right. Question number 1. How many choco pies has Julia eaten today? She has eaten 2 choco pies today. Or Julia has eaten 2 choco pies today. Number 2. How many books has Chris read this month? He has read 4 books this month. Or Chris has read 4 books this month. And number 3, how many movies have Chris and Sekiko watched this week? They have watched 6 movies this week. Or Chris and Sekiko have watched 6 movies this week. All right, here you go. Now, questions 4 and 5 are going to be different depending on who answered them, because we have all eaten different amounts of cup noodle and done different amounts of English worksheets. So mine is just going to be an example. Yours might be different. That's okay. So for question number 4, how many cup noodles have you eaten this month? My answer: I have eaten 3 cup noodles this month. Question number 5, how many English worksheets have you finished this week? I haven't finished any English worksheets this week. Those are my example answers. Again, yours might be different, and that's okay. All right, guys, that's it for today's lesson. Now, all you need to do is your worksheet and English diary for the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the worksheet. So, the worksheet has two parts. The first part is conjugating irregular verbs. And then the second part is answering some how many questions. So for both of these, you are going to need to know your simple past tense and your past participle of some verbs. All right? So go ahead and do this to the best you can. And then if you need some help, don't forget to check the cheat sheet for the common irregular verbs. This will be very helpful. After you're finished with your worksheet, it's time to do the English diary. Now, the English diary topic for this week is, what's your favorite food? Go ahead and write, what's your favorite food? And tell me all about it. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it sweet, salty, spicy? What's the name of your food? Is it a seasonal food? Do you eat it in the winter or the summer or all year round? How many times did you eat this food last week? How many times have you eaten this food this week? Yeah. And of course, don't forget to draw a picture of your favorite food. And that was lesson 2 of Julia's English class. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week in our Zoom class. So next week we are not going to have a YouTube video, we are going to do Zoom. So let's have fun. I'm excited. I haven't done a Zoom class before, but I'm ready and I can't wait to see you guys. I've missed you and I hope you are all doing well. So I'm going to eat a choco pie and I will see you guys next week. Bye.